Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to study about the circuit experiment conducted by Hershey and Chase. In the yesterday's experiment or in the yesterday's session, we studied about the experiment conducted by Griffith, and then later on after 16 years, Avery, McLeod and McCarty, so these three scientists, they worked on the same experiment and they find out some biochemical reactions based on that experiment. So in the yesterday's session, what we studied about the experiment conducted by Griffith and later on the three scientists, so somewhat it gave some information that yes, DNA is the genetic material. But today we are going to study about the experiment which was proved that yes, genetic material is the DNA itself. None of the things, none of the proteins or RNA, they carry the genetic material from one generation to another generation. So RNA, in some viruses, RNA it itself acts as genetic material, but most of the organisms carry the DNA as the genetic material. So the experiment number 2, which is to prove that DNA is the genetic material, conducted by Hershey and Chase in the year of 1952. So here the Hershey and Chase in the year of 1952, what they did, they discovered or they conducted one experiment. But this time he didn't took the mice and all. Instead of mice, he took the organisms. But those organisms are microorganisms. Let us study the information regarding or extra information regarding the experiment. Study this well or understand this extra information. We'll move on to the experiment. Okay, so extra information is nothing but you might have heard about the E. coli, Escherichia coli. This is the bacteria. Okay, so this is also disease causing bacteria. When it enters inside the body, human body, when we are consuming the uncooked rice or some polluted or contaminated water, so it grows in the body, Escherichia coli. So these bacteria, he took this bacteria. Okay, so one more thing he took, that is a virus. So the virus, when it infects the bacteria, that organism is known as bacteriophage. So the second microorganism, what he selected, he selected the bacteriophage and the E. coli. This is the bacteria and this is the virus infecting the bacteria known as bacteriophage. So I'll draw the diagram of bacteriophage so that you will be aware of all the things. So the bacteriophage, it has a diamond shape or a hexagonal head. So this is the head and middle part, and at the end it has an end plate. At the end plate it has a perforation, a gap, and tail fibers. So these are all the structure present in the bacteriophage. Okay, so these bacteria, let me tell you one more thing. The virus, they will be inactive outside the organism. If they want to multiply their their colony, they have to enter inside the host cell. There only they multiply. Okay, so bacteriophage nature is they only multiply inside the host cell. So this bacteriophage, what we are having here, it has a head made of protein. In the protein, sulfur, or it is made of amino acids and sulfur. Okay, why I am taking or why I am indicating the sulfur in short, you will come to know the content of protein. Only just remember the protein, it has the sulfur content. Okay, and it has, the bacteriophage has a DNA material or DNA. And the chemical composition of DNA, as you know, nitrogen bases, pentose sugar and what? Phosphorus. So out of 3, I'll choose the phosphorus content. Okay, so what is happening in the next content or in the next description, as you know, so this is actually in the bacteriophage, these are the 2 important content present in this organism, the protein coat and the DNA. The content of protein is sulfur and the content of DNA is phosphorus. Okay, beside to that, sulfur, it has amino acids also, polypeptide bonds also present, but I don't want those content, I only need the sulfur and phosphorus. Alright, so in the next step, what I am going to tell you in the extra information concept, the bacteriophage infects the bacteria, but it infects the bacteria. What are the steps? How the bacteriophage infects the bacteria? So what we are taking here, we are already taken the what is this, bacteriophage, alright, T2 bacteriophage. Again what we are doing, again we are infecting, making the bacteriophage infecting to the bacteria. So at the first step, what the bacteriophage do, suppose you just consider this is the E. coli. Alright, E. coli bacteria, it sits on the membrane of the E. coli. Alright, so that is nothing but adsorption. The first step is adsorption, sticking on to the membrane of E. coli. In the next stage, the DNA material, what actually it is having, it will send to the bacteria. Alright, so that step is known as injection. Injection in sense passing the material. Still we don't know which is the genetic material. We have to prove the DNA material is the genetic material is DNA. So before going to that step, let me tell you some more extra information related to that. So just understand this. First step, how the bacteriophage infects bacteria. First will adsorb, or it will sit on the bacteria. Later on, it sends its material inside to the E. coli bacteria or to the host cell, and then whatever it receives, the content from the bacteriophage, or whatever the content passed from the bacteriophage to the bacteria, it starts replication. The replication occurs inside the what is this, E. coli, and then after this, after the replication, the next step is lysis. Lysis means the cell ruptures from it get rupture, and all the things present inside the E. coli So this bacteria, it had number of DNA material or the content which got replicated. All those it will come out from the cell, and each material, each content, it infect to the other bacteria. So this is how it keep on going, it keep on continues its life cycle. Okay, so this is all about the bacteria or the extra information what we had. So let us study the actual procedure, what's going to happen in the Hershey and Chase experiment. What are the things they selected for their experiment? So they took E. coli bacteria and bacteriophage. Alright, and later they cultivated or they grow the bacteriophage under two separate medias. Like for example, if they have the Petri plate, don't write all the diagrams, these are all not necessary, only to understand, make you understand better. I am drawing these diagrams. Consider like a Petri plate we are having. In this Petri plate, he has provided a media like culture media, and here also he poured a media. This media is having sulfur, radioactive sulfur 35. Okay, so 35. So here what you have to write in the media, what he has provided in the first culture, in this experiment, this media is having radioactive sulfur 35 content in the media. In this media, he added E. coli and bacteriophage or bacteriophage. And coming to this media, or coming to in this experiment, in the media, here he added radioactive phosphorus, P32 phosphorus, P32 radioactive media he mixed in this culture media, and he took as a grow material, and he added the E. coli and bacteriophage. Alright, now let me tell you, sulfur, so this is the content which is present in the protein, right, don't forget that. And phosphorus, this is the content which is present in the DNA. The sulfur will not be present in the DNA, and phosphorus is not present, it would not be present in the protein. Remember one more thing, as I told you in the extra information, the bacteriophage, the protein code, bacteriophage protein code, this capsule, the outer covering is made of protein, and the inner content, inside to the protein content, it has the DNA. Okay, are you following me? So E. coli and bacteria, E. coli and bacteria. So what will happen in this culture media? The E. coli bacteria, it get infected by the bacteriophage, and then the bacteriophage infect the E. coli, and then adsorption, next injection and replication, and then next is, what is that? What you have to remember? Lysis. Okay, so what he did, he in a separate Petri plate, he started doing the experiments. Right, let me tell you one more thing, let it be for a while, for seconds. Let us stop the experiment to here itself. I would like to tell you one more thing here about the centrifugation. The centrifugation, this is the technique used to separate the particles from the solution based on the size, shape and density and viscosity. Based on the size, the particles means if you want to separate the solution, if it have number of particles inside the solution, if you want to separate those particles from one from another, what we have to do? We have to centrifuge that solution. Centrifugation is nothing but spinner, a fast rotating instrument. So if we want to separate the particles, we have to pour that solution inside the, what is this? The test tube like material, which is like a metallic one. Okay, so if we pour the solution, if it starts spinning like for 1 second, 3000, 2000 rotation, there is a it is a machine. If we set the reading, it will rotate related to that readings. Okay, what is this? What I was telling? So this spinner. So what we are doing? We are placing the test tube inside the centrifugation or inside the centrifuge. So when it starts rotating, when it starts spinning, the thick material, the particles whose density or weight is much more, it will settle down at the base, and those particles whose density or viscosity is light in nature, the light particles remains in the above this one. Okay, so the left or the materials which settle at the bottom, it is known as pallet. Okay, and this materials or this solution is known as supernatant. So we have a pallet and supernatant, the two different solutions or the solutions which have the low density particles at this end and high density or more weight particles at the bottom. Okay, so remember this is one extra information. So here what was the experiment where we were in the culture media. We were growing the bacteriophage and E. coli. Alright, so these medias, when we centrifuge this media and this media, what will happen? Let me tell you one more thing here. When the bacteriophage, it absorb or it sits on the E. coli bacteria, it will just sits on the E. coli. It is not like very hard connection between the bacteriophage and E. coli. It will just sits on the E. coli bacteria. When it get disturbed, what will happen? This bacteriophage, it will separate. Okay, remember this also. So what we are doing here, we are centrifuging this media and this media separately. in the test tube, I am taking the culture media having radioactive sulfur 35, and in the one more test tube I am taking the, what is this, radioactive phosphorus 32. Alright, what will happen? The bacteria which is present inside the culture media, it comes and settles at the bottom because it has little bit more weight compared to bacteriophage. Why? Because bacteriophage already it has sent its DNA material inside the bacteria. Nothing is left over in the bacteriophage. Only protein coats are present. Those light materials stay in the supernatant. So this media, what it has? It has sulfur 30, radioactive sulfur 35. Alright, so in this same thing we are going to conduct here. If we centrifuge this culture media, the bacteria settle at the bottom, and the capsule which is not having anything, it remains in the supernatant place, and this media is phosphorus, radioactive phosphorus 32. So now what the Hershey and Chase are doing, they tested they observed the supernatant and the palette. What is there in the palette, what is there in the supernatant in this experiment, and what is there in the palette and what is there in the supernatant. When they start observing the medias, what they found? They found the protein, like in this bacteria. In this bacteria, it was not having sulfur, radioactive sulfur 32. Okay, why? It remains, it stays back in the protein coat that is present in the supernatant layer. Okay, so bacteria, it doesn't have the sulfur and radioactive sulfur because those sulfur is the part of protein coat of bacteriophage remains in the supernatant layer. They observed this culture media. What they found in this bacteria? They found the radioactive phosphorus inside the DNA of bacteria. Which bacteria they are having? They are having E. coli bacteria. So to the E. coli bacteria, the bacteriophage already sent its material. Those genetic material or DNA is present, or they involved in the replication the phosphorus content. When they observed the radioactive phosphorus, it find or it is present in the DNA of bacteria, and the, what is this? The supernatant, it doesn't have any radioactive phosphorus or radioactive sulfur because the phosphorus, it get absorbed or it get utilized in the replication or in the in the DNA. The DNA is present in the bacteria. So by this experiments, by this series of procedure, they confirm that actually it confirmed that the genetic material is DNA, not the protein content or not anything else. The DNA is itself, it is inheriting from one generation to other generation. So because that's why, to prove that phenomena, they chooses the radioactive phosphorus 32. Okay, so phosphorus, anyhow, this is the chemical composition of DNA. It will involved in the replication process, or it get used during the replication process. When it get used during the replication process, it gets settled in at the bottom of this what is this, test tube. So when they observed or when they tested for the radioactive elements, it find out, or it is present in the DNA content. So we completed the search for DNA, search for genetic material by learning 2 experiments. In the previous experiment, you have to remember the Griffith name, and in this experiment you have to remember the Hershey and Chase names. Okay, so the diagram I will give you in the notes, but don't follow this diagram. This is not the proper diagram. So, or in the next session I will draw the diagram, I will tell you how it is. Okay, thank you.